It's time for our daily dose of cope. And mini Masha Catnip is back at the news anchor desk. There are so many stories to get to with the Leopards News Network, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Y'all, some of these swing state voters have buyer's remorse, and they actually let their pictures be taken for this story. And actually, it was a Zoom call. They didn't just have their pictures taken. And now these people are having regrets because swing voters, Donald Trump won each swing state. So these voters were very pivotal in his win. And I hope that they wake up feeling terrible each day. Like it's an overcast day every day, even when the sun is out. All right, it says, Michigan moderates who flipped from voting from former President Joe Biden in 2020 to President Trump in November are regretting their decision. A focus group assembled by researcher Richard Tao last week found swing voters in the Great Lakes state were having second thoughts about their vote for Trump, with political chaos still high, grocery prices, and plummeting stock market driving their views. Okay, so here's Shannon. Everything I believe was going to happen under a Trump presidency has since gone the opposite direction, said a woman named Shannon wearing a Central Michigan University shirt. I thought he was going to change things with affordability and make things cheaper. But by putting these tariffs in and terrorizing the world now, things are going to only get more expensive than they already are. Yes, and I hope that you feel it every day, and I hope that you're stressed, and I hope that you're struggling every day for what you did, Shannon. Now we have Cheryl, a black woman, clearly part of the 8% that voted for Trump. All right, it says, a woman named Cheryl says she is almost scared to watch the news anymore. A man named Phil added that Trump's actions have been disruptive and are creating chaos. Shannon agreed, saying, I don't think anyone would have voted for him if they expected to see what we're seeing now. Ugh, these people are... So here's Phil, whose name we just mentioned. It says one of the voters with buyer's remorse said she voted for Trump because she thought the economy would thrive. I was voting for him based off the economy the first time around, and I'm seeing a significant decline, a voter named Samantha said. These people and their regrets simply disgust me. I'm literally like I have some phlegm coming up. So this one is titled, But I've written against multiculturalism for 30 years. Okay, so this story is kind of crazy. Dinesh D'Souza hits back at white nationalist attack on his daughter and her GOP congressman husband. Okay, so this man right here, Representative Brandon Gill, says multiculturalism will tear our country apart. Apparently, this is Representative Brandon Gill, and this is his Indian wife. And this is Dinesh D'Souza and his wife. And this man is a white man, and this is an Indian woman. So this person, the serfs are saying, are you announcing your divorce? Our Candy says, your Indian wife probably hates you. Johnny said, you're married to an Indian, you unwise, freaking Israeli sellout. Adam just says, this you, and post a picture of Representative Brandon Gill and his wife, and Dinesh D'Souza and his wife. And then the article continues, meanwhile, Stu Peters, an avowed white nationalist who the ADL calls a prolific anti-Semite, replied by writing, this poser is literally married to an Indian. WTF. Peters included a photo of Gill, his wife, and his in-laws, including a pro-MAGA conspiracy theorist, Dinesh D'Souza. So that brings us back to this tweet from Dinesh D'Souza saying, I'm the Indian in the photo, and I've written against multiculturalism in the defense of Western civilization for 30 years. My daughter was born in Virginia, grew up in San Diego, and met Brandon at Dartmouth. He is now the youngest GOP congressman and endorsed by Trump. How are you writing against multiculturalism as an Indian? I don't get these people. And I guess being an Indian writing against multiculturalism is about as silly as being a dad to a trans man and voting for Trump. Yo, this man is the dad to this trans man right here. And this is an article that says, I'm safe with him here. Transgender son loves his father who voted for Trump. It's already weird enough these people voting against their own interests, but now we're seeing people voting against their own children. All right, let's get into this article. It says, after undergoing surgery, Ashton Colby was confined to bed and couldn't move his arms or carry out basic tasks. But his father, Rick Colby, was there every step of the way, helping him recover from his top surgery, support that meant the world from his conservative Republican father after Ashton came out as transgender and underwent the operation. Surgery is an option that some, but not all, trans people choose as part of the broader gender-affirming care they may receive to help themselves with their transition. Ashton was 19 at the time. He was there in the hotel room while helping me recover and drink protein shakes when I couldn't use my arms. He's made literally a life or death difference in my life, Ashton, now 32, told CNN. Ashton had been tormented by fear that he would be rejected by his family in the weeks leading up to his coming out in 2012, but his father stood by him through therapy and doctor's appointments, ensuring that he would get the specialized care he needed to affirm his gender and thrive, which Ashton said saved my life. Rick voted for Trump in 2024, and he describes his role as an offensive lineman in a greater mission to fight misconceptions and legislation attacking transgender rights and healthcare. Now there's a new challenge to face: an executive order from Trump denying federal funding for providers of gender-affirming healthcare for minors. The order threatens to upend even care for Ashton, who is an adult, and for many others. While the executive order only applies to gender-affirming care for those under 19 and has been temporarily paused by 2 federal judges, it's still affecting patients of all ages. Many clinics and hospitals around the nation temporarily halted gender-affirming care before the order was blocked by the judges. And while care has returned at many locations, providers concerned about losing federal funding worry they will have to stop care altogether in the future. Experts in the field of gender-affirming care told CNN. Here is Ashton and his daddy. And now this is the person that posted this article saying, to clarify, this father has supported their transgender child throughout their coming out and transition, which makes their vote even more baffling. Lonely Clerk says, exactly. Trans people were the Republican Party's main boogeyman during the election. How could you possibly think the trans people were going to be treated with any care, empathy, or anything else other than abject hate? Original McSmashy says, the lack of ability by ours to critically think is staggering. And the thing is, and this is not, y'all, do not jump into my comments and start bashing don't bash trans people in my comments. Do not do it. But the thing is, this father knew that he had a trans son. However you feel about it, it does not matter. He knew that he had a trans son. And these people, the Project 2025 people, are clearly anti-LGBTQIA+. They are all of that. So why would you vote for the people that are against your own child? The audacity, the entitlement is staggering. But the thing is, Ashton had the opportunity because Ashton is 32 and Ashton probably has his own money now. But other families will not have the same opportunities because of Republicans and how they feel that their beliefs should outweigh other people's beliefs or whatnot. I'm not putting this in here to start a fight. Do not start a fight in my comment section. Okay, so this content creator called Tuck Frump made this post saying massive wildfires with big winds spreading them all around Oklahoma. That's a red state that heavily went for Trump. These are the same people who wish death on people in California. They voted to eliminate FEMA, NOAA, and have wars with Canada and Mexico, all of which help California. Hashtag FAFO, hashtag karma. Eliminating FEMA right before wildfire season, right before tornado season, right before hurricane season was so ridiculous. Eliminating FEMA and NOAA was ridiculous because many of these red states are in the path of storms. I know that they want to get back at California or whatnot, but they're literally cutting off their noses. They're cutting off their own noses. And just like California's wildfires were fueled by hurricane force winds, the same thing is going on for Oklahoma. And before Hurricane Helene, Representative Josh Breachin is one of the representatives that voted against FEMA. And Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma voted against FEMA funds when Joe Biden was in office. The FEMA funds at that particular point when they voted went through, but not all of these people voted against it. Now, I bet you they want those FEMA funds now. All right, y'all. It's been a lot of stories. Join the conversation, like, comment.